Welcome to Mysteries of the Masters. I'm Johanna. Today, I will guide you through the enigmatic universe of Albrecht Dürer. Albrecht Dürer, the Northern Renaissance master, captivated the world with his exquisite paintings, detailed engravings, and a tapestry of symbols, both mystical and mesmerizing. Join me as we decode the mysteries behind his masterpieces, including Melancholia I, the most analyzed piece of art in Western history. What secrets underpin Dürer's genius? Albrecht Dürer was born on May 21, 1471 in Nuremberg, today's Germany. His father, a goldsmith, Albrecht Dürer the Elder, saw the talent in him and allowed him to an apprenticeship under Michael Wohlgemuth, a local master at printmaking. There, Dürer learned the art of woodcut print, setting the stage for a legacy that would redefine European art. Woodcut is a printmaking technique that involves carving an image into the surface of a block of wood. Ink is applied to the woodblock's surface, and then paper is pressed against it to transfer the ink, creating an image like a stamp. The origins of woodcut printmaking trace back to East Asia, with the earliest examples appearing in China in the Tang Dynasty. It was Michael Wohlgemuth who played a key role in combining woodcut illustrations with the emerging technique of book production. With the Gutenberg press newly invented, Nuremberg became a hub where printed words melded with exquisite artistry. That technique allowed artists to multiply images, combine them with text, and stir an innovation that would sweep across Europe, changing art, culture, and knowledge. In Wohlgemuth's workshop, Dürer thrived, mastering woodcuts and creating his first series, The Apocalypse. He proved incredible skill. He pushed the boundaries of woodcut printmaking to achieve unprecedented levels of detail and texture, not to mention the unbelievable dynamic in its composition. In this early print, we are seeing the four riders in the apocalypse, symbolizing conquest, war, famine, and death. Soon after his apprenticeship, Dürer craved more, finer details, greater depth and complexity. He sought the expertise of Martin Schongauer, a master of copper engraving in distant Colmar, known for his precision. Copper engraving allowed for exquisite detail. Artists carved lines into copper plates with a burin, filled them with ink, and pressed them onto paper with a printing press, achieving incredible finesse. Dürer traveled to Colmar, only to find his intended mentor, Schongauer, had recently died. Schongauer's brothers invited him in, teaching him engraving, and so he created his first print with detailed lines. But Dürer's quest for knowledge was far from over. Dürer decided to journey to Italy, the heartland of the Renaissance. To get there, he had to travel on foot, cross the Alps, which at that time was not easy. Travelers had to deal with steep paths, the risk of avalanches and sudden storms. Weeks later, Dürer arrived in Italy, where art, innovation, and thought intertwined. Roaming Italy's streets, he immersed himself in discussions about the universe's secrets and a Renaissance embrace of ancient wisdom from thinkers like Vitruvius and Plato. Texts also delved into by Leonardo da Vinci. The idea that these Renaissance giants might have exchanged thought is not unlikely. Leonardo da Vinci's interest in printmaking in his later years is well documented. Dürer, on the other hand, was a pioneer in printmaking, bringing techniques from Germany to Italy that were revolutionary. Dürer started at that time delving into studies of human proportion, a domain where Leonardo had already made his name. After months in Italy, Dürer returned to Germany, brimming with fresh insight. He then crafted his masterpiece, Adam and Eve in their paradise. This incredibly detailed work merges Italian grace with Northern tradition, highlighting a key shift in his art. It also reflects his intensive study of human anatomy and the beginning of his interest in ancient writings. In Adam and Eve, some of the animals represent the four humors or temperaments from the Greek tradition. The cat embodies the choleric temperament, representing ambition and aggression. The rabbit, the sanguine, brings optimism and enthusiasm. The elk is melancholic, offers depth and sensitivity, but also sadness. And the ox is phlegmatic, signifies calmness and reliability. These temperaments together symbolize harmony. Neoplatonic texts suggest that an imbalance in these temperaments can cause illness or wrongdoing. In Dürer's Eden, however, these temperaments are in perfect balance, considered a divine state. Also, the parrot, the bird of paradise, contrasts the snake, the animal of seduction, signaling their fate of expulsion. Now, where did Dürer find such symbolic knowledge? His friendship with Willibald Pirckheimer, a German scholar with a vast library filled with ancient and contemporary writings, fueled his journey with profound knowledge, inspiring Adam and Eve and other works like Night, Death, and the Devil, and Saint Jerome in his study. Their friendship gave Dürer key insights, weaving intricate symbolism in his art, leading to his masterpiece, Melancholia I, a work shrouded in debate. It is the most written about artwork in Western history, having scholars puzzled for centuries. Could it be a map to higher wisdom? Art historian Erwin Panofsky in 1923 proposed that the figure of Melancholia, embodied as an angel surrounded by all kinds of tools, yet immobilized by sorrow, represents the artist's confrontation with limitations. Melancholia stems from the Greek concept of 4 temperaments we have seen in Adam and Eve. Melancholia's temperament is linked to creativity and introspection, but also to sadness. Each of the 4 temperaments correspond to a specific planet, Melancholia with Saturn, and Sanguine, the joyful one, with Jupiter. According to Panofsky, Dürer's engraving aims to balance these opposites: Saturn's heavy melancholy with Jupiter's optimistic joy. The magic square, supposedly a Jupiter's talisman above the melancholic angel, supposed to draw in its energy. The latter represents overcoming melancholy, hinting at Dürer's personal battles through Neoplatonic ideas. But is this the whole picture, or is there another layer of meaning? Let's look at it from another angle. Before we dive into unlocking these layers, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel. The Renaissance sparked not only classical revival, but a deep interest in mystical and esoteric traditions. Christians such as Johannes Reuchlin and Giovanni Pico della Mirandola turned to Jewish mysticism, especially Kabbalah, seeking a deeper grasp of Christian teachings. Reuchlin faced harsh criticism for embracing these studies, yet Dürer showed an affinity for such ideas. He incorporated Hebrew texts into his artwork. Modern scholars delve into the Kabbalistic, alchemical, and astrological layers within Dürer's art. In 2017, Xenia Gershman linked Melancholia I to Pico della Mirandola's Oratio. She suggests that the artwork's bat-like figure is actually a chameleon. Well, it does not look like one, but Dürer is basing this drawing on a description by Pliny the Elder from Naturalis. Given that Dürer never saw a chameleon himself, he wrote, "Its muzzle is not unlike the snout of a small hog. Its tail is very long and becomes smaller towards the end, coiling up in folds, like that of a viper. It has hooked claws. It always holds the head upright and the mouth open. Towards the end of the dog days, it is fierce, but at other times quite harmless." End quote. Now, why would a chameleon be important to Dürer, despite he has never seen one? Maybe because Pico della Mirandola, in his Oratio, uses the chameleon as a metaphor for human potential for transformative change, even to higher existence, and the possibility from the angelic to the divine. This interpretation gains traction when considering Pliny's note that chameleons become fierce towards the end of the dog days. The ancients considered dog days a period of late summer, marked by the rising of the star Sirius, also called the dog star. The presence of a sleeping dog and a brightly shining sun in Melancholia I could symbolize this time of a year and the potential for change. Also, ancients observed a heliacal rising during that time, creating a halo. As the star rises, this raises an intriguing question. If Dürer indeed drew from Pico's Oratio, could the central figure traditionally seen as Melancholia represent a deeper, possibly transformative human condition? This angel is not female at first assumed. Dürer never drew female angel in his image. We see earlier Michael slaying a dragon, the angel with key to the bottomless pit. All had hair down and wore ceremonial robes. Dürer himself had his hair long and down, where women at the time wore their hair up in a bun. Gershman believes that this figure represents the biblical figure Enoch after he transformed into the angel Metrodon, and that the ladder is not a metaphor for creative potential, but the Jacob's ladder to heaven. The angel being on earth is a messenger and is waiting. The hourglass is halfway through. The time is in between. He is waiting. Waiting for what? Now, this is a very compelling interpretation. There are still questions unanswered. What is that magic square about, for example? There's no explanation found in the Kabbalah. All that is apparent on a first glance is that the number adds up to 34 each direction you add them up. The magic square now hints at a synthesis of Neoplatonic and Kabbalistic wisdom. And Melancholia is still the present theme. We also find the magic square in Luca Baccioli's work, who explained it in his writings predating Dürer's drawings. Baccioli, a renowned mathematician and author of Divina Deproporzione, collaborated with Leonardo da Vinci. It's believed that Dürer, during his second Italian journey, sought Baccioli's expertise on perspective. He was using the magic square as a talisman of Jupiter. The numbers in the magic square correspond to specific verses in the book of Isaiah, offering a prophetic dimension to the artwork. These verses, Isaiah 7:11, 11:7, and 14:15, touch on themes of divine signs, a prophetic vision of a peaceful kingdom and a warning of downfall, respectively. 11:7 describes a peaceful coexistence in the future kingdom, and Isaiah 14:15 warns of the downfall of the sinful, quote, "But yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, into the depth of the pit," end quote. Centered above the square, a bell signifies an impending announcement, suggesting the angel is poised to declare the arrival of a new epoch. This may hint at a cryptic message, with the angel awaiting a critical juncture for humanity, the fall of the sinful and the elevation of the righteous, marked by the chameleon's fierceness in the dark days, a time ripe for transformation. Now, what are your thoughts? Could this interpretation hold the key to understanding Dürer's engraving? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now, thank you for joining me on this exploration. Until next time, at Mysteries of the Masters.